Okay, part 2, double knitting itself. We have all stitches on one needle, yarn on the right side, and work facing us wrong side. So we start with purling with black and knitting with white yarn. Purl first stitch with black yarn. So we do purl first stitch, purl, okay, we purled, and place yarn on the back of your knitting. Then take white yarn. It should be in front of knitting all the time. Take white yarn and knit with white yarn. Knit with white yarn. Where's my knitting? White yarn. Then we place white yarn in front of our work. Take black yarn and purl one stitch. And purl one stitch. Place yarn on the back. Take white yarn. Where's my white yarn? White yarn and knit next stitch. And then knit next stitch. Alright, it looks like this. And then we take black yarn, keep white yarn in front. Take black yarn and purl. And white yarn and knit and black yarn and purl last stitch here. Okay, all right, so we have first row done. Here we go. Those tails, it's so many tails of yarn here, so those tails, those working yarn. Now to do second yarn, we turn our knitting, and to avoid having holes between on the side between those two sides, we twist yarn and put black yarn in front because we'll be working on the black side facing us, and knit one stitch with black yarn. Your white yarn on the back of the knitting, and it should be all the time on the back, never going forward, never going in front of your knitting. So keep your black yarn in front, so the yarn you're working with like facing you, and purl white yarn. Now keep white yarn on the back, take black yarn and knit one stitch. Put this yarn in front, take white yarn and purl, and always put this yarn back when it should be. Now the white yarn on the back, take black yarn and knit, and keep this black yarn in front. Take white yarn and purl. Come on. Purl and take black yarn, keep this yarn on back, white yarn on back, and knit last stitch. Okay, we have done second row. So what do we have now? We have now, this is black side and this is white side. Twisting yarns, put black yarn on back, white yarn in front, and we start with purling black stitch. The white yarn should be in front all the time. So we purl black stitch, and keep this black yarn on the back. Never put back yarn forward, because you have interruption with your pattern, with your colors. Knit white and put this yarn in front, and then take black yarn and purl and put this black yarn on the back. So far so good. And knit with white, keep it in front, and purl with black. And knit with white yarn, keep it in front, go. Okay, we have it in front. Yes, in front. And purl last stitch in this row. Okay, look what we have now. We have this side totally white, and we have other side completely black. Here we go. This is double knitting.